Women are resilient and have a lot of potential, whether it is in doing business, leadership and farming, or generally looking after a home and raising children. Majority of women, however, cannot realize their full potential because they do not own the main factors of production like land, capital, and the skills required to get the business successful. To help women unlock their potential, the National Association of Women's Organizations in Uganda, NAWOU, and the Association of Women Lawyers in Uganda, FIDA, with funding from Forum for Women in Development, FOKUS, is empowering women in Luwero District through the Women at Work project.
Women at Work project is a build-up from a project that was started in 2015. The learning from that project made us realize that we need to get women more involved in cooperatives than in their small groups, but also focus a lot on advocacy and linking women to other institutions that can support them in terms of marketing, in terms of inputs, even building cooperatives, and then also linking them to government institutions. For example, under the Ministry of Gender, Labour and Social Development, we have linked the women to the Uganda Women's Entrepreneurship Program.
The Women at Work project has an overall aim of strengthening the realization of women's economic participation and other economic rights.
Most of our work is intended to tackle that problem that makes it difficult for the woman to engage in processes, for example, at the district that are intended to speak to programs of women. We, for example, tackle issues of sexual reproductive health because we know that HIV/AIDS is a major barrier to women participating in economic activities. We also just amplify their voices in meetings at the district level to enable them participate in processes like the budgetary allocations at the district level to see that they're involved in processes from the beginning to the end.
The project was launched in 2019 to 2022 and is being implemented in 13 sub-counties of Luwero District and supporting women groups and primary cooperative societies. Through the project, vulnerable women living in rural areas, including those with disabilities, living with HIV and AIDS, youth and widows, were identified and assessed at project inception stage to ensure the right category of women was targeted. The women were trained in enterprise selection, good agronomic practices, savings and loans, and also given startup kits to grow their businesses. Chichusa Development Association of the Blind, which has 30 members with different types of disabilities, is one of the groups that has benefited from this support.
NAWOU nga tena bakujja kutwegattako okusooka. Twali mu mbeera mbutuufu teyali nnungi, naye nga tuyiiya okuba nga tweyimirizaawo nga ffe abaliko obulemu, nga bulamu bwa kweyiya paka we twagamba tufune eddoboozi eryawamu. Awo NAWOU we yatusangira. NAWOU etuyambye nnyo etwetedde emisomo ng'ogasseko ne FIDA.
The group, whose members are very passionate in what they do, used to have only one knitting machine. The group received a timely boost of 6 more machines, and this has enabled them increase their production from making 5 sweaters a day to producing 35. Incomes from these sales are economically liberating these group members. They now don't have to depend on anyone for survival.
Era mu kyamasweta namwo tuganyuddwamu nnyo kubanga bwe tumala okugaluka tusobola okufuna obutale tugatambuza era bwe tukomawo bantu babyagadde kuba tusobola okuluka ebipale by'abaana abato ebibulawuzi byako babigula olwaleero baganyuddwa mu kuyita mu NAWOU basobodde okugula ebibamala eyagulanga mini agula kadomola eyagulanga kiro ya kawunga emu kati agula kiro 10 kwegamba obodda buli gwembuuza nga ndaba basanyufu.
Another group of the people with disabilities that has been supported is Luwero Women Living with Disability, LUWODA. The group has been growing and selling mushrooms as their main enterprise for the past 1 year.
Tulima obutiko twalozeemu abamu abeetabye mu juice tujja ne tutuula ne tusevinga ne tuwola ne twewola okusobola okukwataganya emirimu gyaffe n'abantu nabala n'emirimu gye nga bo naye nga bwaweewola akasente kana alina okukateeka muki mu mulimu ogwo.
Support from NAWOU has enabled them to expand their business from adding value to mushroom growing to processing juice from pineapples and hibiscus fruits. They have been very successful because of their training, hard work, adherence to quality and perseverance.
Kakati hibiscus ono bwe tumujja mu nnimiro tumwanika ku mmeeza kuli ne tumutereka bwe tuba tutuuse okukola tumukola bwe nga bwe mulaba nkoze ne tumupaakinga mu bucket eyo ne tuyiwamu amazzi agookya tuteekamu sukaali tukozesa enniimu bwe tumaliriza tulina katanka kaffe tutandika okupaakinga mu bucupa buno. Pulaani yaffe gye tulina nga bwe tufunye akabonero ako tugenda kutandika okugaziwa.
Support from NAWOU has enabled NAWOU Women's Group become a vibrant village savings and loan association. Members have been able to grow the group savings from 300,000 to over 10 million shillings now.
Tufunye okumanya nti omukyala oyina eddembe lyo ery'obwebange era oyina eddoboozi okweyogerera ekyo ky'oyagala ne ky'otayagala. Munnawo ne tufunamu enkola ya VSLA engeri gy'etambulamu. Essaawa eno omukyala asobola okwewola akasente ke nga kakenga ye era n'akategeerera.
The group has also been able to buy this plot, which they hope to build on their offices, tailoring workshop and a boutique. Disciplined saving, access to easy credit and flexible repayment plan has enabled group members like Margaret Nawame, a 65-year-old widow of 10 children, and to set up this beautiful home for her family.
Ntambula mu bulamu bw'ensi nga bunkaluubirira n'abaana abo nga tebavunaanyizibwa nze okubeera nabo. Tusalina gamba nze nkole ki abaana bange okubayimirizaawo n'okubakuumiraawo. Nenzija nenyigira ekibiina ekyo nenfuna ssente nga bwentereka Mukama yantaasa nembeera mwewozi mulungi ate nga kola ebigenda mu maaso. Nenzija wano nenfuna poloti eno era nenzirayo nengenda nga nkola nga ntereka nga neewola okutuusa bwe nafuna ssente nenzimba ennyumba eno gye mulaba.
Chosiga Chokungula Women's Group has been supported to set up a thriving piggery project. They have hired a trained person to be in charge of the welfare of the pigs, and they are reaping big from the project.
Project y'embizi bwe tufunayo kasente tuwa member wa fomu tulabayo member alina omwana ali mu bibiina ebya waggulu ne tumuwa kasente n'agenda n'asomesa omwana we n'agenda ngazze mpola mpola.
Jenny Mukalazi, a member of the group, started her own piggery project at her home. Money from the piggery project and her savings from the group have enabled her to take care of her family and build this 4-bedroomed house.
Nebaza nnyo aba FOKUS ne NAWOU bwe bajja nze ng'omukyala nali neenyooma nga mulimu emirimu gye nti okwenyigiramu nga ngiyita gy'abasajja naye okuva olwo nayiga okukola emirimu egy'ekisajja ate nayiga okwesalirawo ng'omukyala era nyambiddwa nnyo mu mirimu gye ntandise okukola. Nina we ntuuse nti kati nsobodde okuzimba ennyumba yange ng'omukyala ya bedroom 4 ne sitting room 2 kuliko n'ekinaabiro kuliko ne store.
NAWOU Women's Group has been supported to become one of the groups making some of the best crafts with intricate designs in the country. These crafts are in different shapes and varieties of such high quality that they meet the standards of regional and international markets.
We have 4 types of group project. 1 is mushroom growing, 2 is crafts, 3 we have village loan and savings, 4 we have a sewing machine. During this COVID, people could call us that I want mats. They would come and take like 5, 6, then they go. We have contacts and we have never stopped making crafts. All of them have flat screen at home. All of them have radios. We don't wait for husbands to buy for us because FIDA taught us of ownership. Most of the group members are married, but we have never had any case ever since we are together that this one has divorced or this one there is a violence action.
Members of these groups have also set up their businesses, and most of them are thriving and transforming their lives and lives of their families.
Kyenfunyeemu olwaleero kati sikyasobola kubeerawo mbesingire ku musajja nti oba njagala kino oba kino. Nsobola okufuna ssente nga nze n'embeera nga nzirina. Nsobola okumuyamba naye ng'omuntu waba alemereddwa like nga kusasula fees z'abaana nga biganye nsobola okubaako percentage gye muwa. Njagala nfuna abantu benkola nabo. Take an example ng'omwezi nsobola okufulumya at least products nga 1,300.
Zino eka ziri eka 3 wano leero we tuli. Naye ekirungi nti ennimiro yaffe twagisimbanga tugi eri mu mitendera. Twasooka ne tusimba eka ezi. Kati eka ezo 2 ze twasooka bwe tubanga zonna nga twasimba ne zisesemu omulundi gumu tusobola okusala obukadde obwo eka 2 omulundi gutya gumu.
Tulina enkoko 400. Amagi buli lunaku tulonda amagi ekitule 10. Era tufunyeemu kubanga buli tule tugitunda siringi 1,000. Project eno twagala kweyongeramu tuweze enkoko 1,000. Amagoba getufunye nga tugateeka mu kibiina nga tugatereka mu kibiina ekyo ate nga bazeewola nga batuddiza amagoba.
NAWOU, in collaboration with the Uhuru Institute of Social Development, an organization that supports the revitalization of cooperatives in Uganda, have managed to support these groups to register and form 6 primary cooperatives. This comes with enormous socio-economic benefits for these member associations.
The cooperative leadership model is so wide that sustainability and transparency, accountability, and managing of the member investments and confidence building among the members is evident. The cooperative model is a business-focused model. In most cases, in groups, they save money to share towards an event or towards Christmas. But in using a cooperative business model, it is there for life. You find sometimes members disappear because prudence was not done while giving out money, or even keeping their monies. It becomes a problem in the groups where they don't have offices, they keep in boxes, maybe at the treasurer's home. Those challenges are there where money go missing here and there. But in a cooperative business model, you have an office.
NAWOU, also in partnership with Makerere University Department of Food Science and Technology, are supporting Luwero women groups to produce juice that meets expected quantity and quality standards. They also support women with SMEs in processes that can enable them acquire the UNBS sticker to increase market opportunities for their products.
We are supporting the agro-processing industry. We empower them to be able to meet quality and capacity for the international as well as local markets. Because one of the challenges you often hear is people have good products, but they have not managed to get them good enough for people to purchase. And on the other hand, for them to be able to have these products on market, they've got to meet certain standards. As Makerere University, we are working with UNBS as well as Uganda Export Promotion Board. We've come together to form this platform where we can help these agro-processors to be able to learn how can they meet these standards. For NAWOU, we have worked with 2 groups. We have tropical beverages, we also have Luwero. So what we've done is to visit them and train them for them to understand what they need to have in place.
One of the groups benefiting from this collaboration is Merisa Beverages Limited. Processing hibiscus juice for sale, they have seen their business grow from an initial investment of 300,000 shillings to over 20 million shillings. Merisa is in process of transition from the UNBS S mark to the Q mark. The group is now poised to grow leaps and bounds.
In a week, we produce 96 dozens. At least we are able to sell maybe I would say like 80 dozens. At times we can even go to 90, depending on the demand. We pay rent towards this place. We have a loan that we got from WEP as women. We pay on a monthly basis, we pay 250,000, and the other money we put it back in production. I want to thank NAWOU and FOKUS because they've really been of great help to us. They found us at a very low level, but right now, whatever we have here, whatever the achievements we have got, it's because of them. And as I talk now, we are processing to get Q mark. It's now supporting us. They gave us all the money that we need.
NAWOU is also linking these women groups to Emanuela Agro Limited, an agro-based export organization to build women's capacity to produce agro products that meet the international standards like the European Union. Reaching this market will enable Luwero women groups earn big money.
We found that it was strategic for us, in our strategic interest, that we meet like-minded people who are, or entities who are interested in empowering grassroots farmers. And in this case, we ran into NAWOU, who is dealing with women, empowering women. That resonated with us. We're not a monopoly in the market. There are several other countries that are exporting into the EU, which is our key market. And as you'd imagine, the EU is very strict on certain standards around food. Quality, in essence, means that the fruits or vegetables that you produce are free from harmful pests and organisms. Quality means they are of the right texture, of the right ripeness or maturity. Quality 3 means these fruits and vegetables are free from harmful chemicals.
The COVID-19 pandemic currently ravaging the world has seriously impacted on these women groups. NAWOU conducted a COVID-19 business assessment within the 13 sub-counties of Luwero District, and findings indicate that majority of women's businesses were affected, small businesses were crushed. To cushion the most vulnerable women against the effects of COVID-19, NAWOU supported 160 women households with a cash grant of 100,000 Uganda shillings to meet basic needs like food, clothing, and medical care and others. Small as it looks, it was a welcome relief for most women in Luwero District.
Tetulina kye tufuna oluusi bino betubadde bakufuna batuwa busammambiro ate ku ludda lwa NAWOU ku mulundi guno yakinkolera siina bwe nkitenda bannange kubanga yatusanga tulina tujjudde obuzibu ne bampeereza akasente akaasooka $10,000 nengulako emmere nengulako sabbuuni twali tetulina namunnyo
nsiika kabalagala ono naye olw'okuba nti wajjawo COVID nali nzise nga sikyakola nga sirina ssente naye kati neebaza nnyo ekibiina ekya FOKUS ne NAWOU kubanga batudduukiridde. Nagulamu obunga buno kilo 10, nengula n'akadomola ka butto, naguzeeko amenvu gano, nengula ne baking, nengulayo n'akasepiki akapya. Nja kuganyulwa kubanga kati ngaziyeemu.
These groups were very critical in helping members cope with the challenges of the lockdown because everything came to a standstill.
We got this knowledge of kitchen gardening from NAWOU. They used to bring us facilitators, then we learned how to make the kitchen garden. I started this project in April while we had gone for a lockdown. I saw there was a big gap of the market of vegetables. People used to come to this place begging for dodo. So I said, now this gap that is there, let me close it. So I started growing vegetables, different vegetables.
To mitigate the high number of cases of gender-based violence, NAWOU and the Association of Women Lawyers in Uganda, FIDA, are liaising with different stakeholders like Luwero District, the police, community leaders and other stakeholders to sensitize the people on gender-based violence and human rights violations.
We've tried to do some awareness creation, and we've reached out to a number of stakeholders in the communities. And mostly what we were focusing on, we were trying to see how we could respond, especially during this time when families were under lockdown. We wanted to create awareness on the referral system. Where do you go to if you have an issue? Whom do you talk to?
I want to thank God that NAWOU has brought a reduction in the cases of domestic violence. It has addressed that issue strongly, and at least I'm now seeing smiling faces in my congregation.
The Women at Work project is slowly unlocking the potential of women. From being dependent on men for everything and having no voice, the women are getting empowered and claiming their rightful seat at the table.
The neebaza nnyo ekibiina kya NAWOU. Ffe ng'abakyala ab'ekyalo etujje wala. Etuyambye okuzibuka amaaso, okutegeera obuvunaanyizibwa bwaffe, okutegeera eddembe lyaffe ng'abakazi n'abaana baffe okusobola okubayamba n'okufuna obwogerero.
Neebaza ebintu bya NAWOU byonna byetukoledde kubanga mutuufu twali bubi abakyala bubi nnyo n'essaawa zino nze ani asobola oyimira mu kirime kino nga kyange bannange NAWOU ebeewo.